You do not have a business if you don't know your numbers inside and out like the Matrix, Neo. So we're going to talk about the major KPIs you need to look at when you're analyzing your website and your ad performance. Because as an e-commerce store owner, the most important and I would say the most freeing thing is understanding where things are going wrong. If your ads aren't performing, knowing what numbers actually show you that. If your website's not performing, knowing those numbers as well. So as you can see right here, we have our major KPIs, and I'll tell you how to set these up if you don't know how to. So for ads, the major things I look for: CPM, I want to keep this under $10, and this applies to TikTok. With Facebook, it's definitely gonna be closer to $20 to $30. It's just more expensive in general over there. But as you can see right here, I can see on my CPMs, my average, I've got a lot of 6s, 2s, some 13s. So with CPM, if you're wondering how can I play around with that, I would say typically the best advice is go broader. So if you have more narrow audiences where you're testing interest only and your audience size might be only a few million people, you can try doing no interest, or you can try, instead of just United States, you can try United States, Canada, Australia. You could just try doing Canada specific or Australia specific, and you can see if your CPMs lower or increase, because you really never know. In fact, TikTok is incredibly weird, and I've noticed that typically you're supposed to go broader to lower your CPMs, but I've also noticed when you go narrower with trying interest, that can also lower your CPMs. So TikTok honestly just doesn't make sense. Facebook typically does make more sense, where if you go broader, yes, the CPMs are cheaper. I think TikTok's still figuring things out. So in general, if you're noticing CPMs are really high, then try new things out. Try new locations, try doing interest versus no interest, try CBO versus doing ABO, and that usually can make somewhat of a difference. Then after that, we do CPC. So this is directly contributed to your ad. I try to aim for under 50 cents, but this again ties back to your CPM a bit. So if you have a really high CPM and your ad is a killer one, you can still have a CPC above that. It's not the end all be all. I would say the most important metric obviously for your ads is, are they actually making you money back? Because you can have an ad that gets you $1 a click, but it's incredibly profitable to do so. So I wouldn't turn off the ad or say it's the ad's fault. I would just say, all right, let me analyze that. Let me see what actually is working with that ad so I can make more iterations of that. So CPC is not the biggest thing in the world, but we do look at it. CTR though, I would say is a really, really cool metric. I think that is the most important one when it comes to ads, because it tells you how many people click from your ad. So that is regardless of the CPM. It's literally just saying, all right, you have 1,000 people that have seen your ad. How many of them are clicking? So I aim for 1%. 1.5% is really good. If you can get above 1.5%, that's great. If you're below 1%, then yes, you have some issues. So we would have to see, is the hook not getting people's attention? Is it the hold rate? Do we not have a clear enough call to action? But there's clearly something wrong there. So if we're wondering about the hook rate and hold rate, which is two metrics you might not have heard of, hook rate is basically just the amount of people that saw the first 3 seconds of your video. So we can actually do 3-second video plays divided by impressions to get this metric. And in Facebook, you would have to build a custom metric, and we'll talk about how to do that in the column section. Also, we'll talk about how to do this in the column section of the TikTok section as well. But let's just go into here real quick. I will show you how it works. So what you would do on TikTok, because you can't actually do a custom metric, is you would get 2-second video views, and then you would divide this by the amount of impressions. So let's see, impressions probably in basic data. Yeah, so impressions, we'll go here. So right here, we can see I had 24,000 impressions, and then 9,000 of those people actually watched the first 3 seconds, or 2 seconds in this case. So what I would do is 9,000 divided by 24,000. And if that number is greater than 25%, I know my hook was really solid. So in this case, 9 divided by 24, I mean, that would be pretty close to, I would say, 37, 38%. So about there. So we're definitely above the hook rate, which gives me the indication that, all right, my ad's first 3 seconds is solid, but there might be an issue with the rest of the ad, that call to action. So what I would do next is analyze the hold rate. So how many people that watch the first 3 seconds, or in this case 2 seconds, actually complete the entire video. So for that, we would actually have to get another metric called through plays, or video views at 100%. Honestly, both of those work. So we just do confirm like this. So from 2-second video plays, okay, 1,300 people actually watch the entire ad out of the 9,700 that saw the hook. So from this, 13 divided by 97. So let's do that. 13 divided by 97. And yes, you're going to watch this. I'm not going to edit it. 13%. So that tells me, okay, my hook is doing really good, but people aren't watching till the end of the ad. So that means the body, right after the hook, the clips I'm using are not engaging enough. So that's where we want to make some tweaks, because we want to have a hold rate of around 20%. That is very, very possible with a solid ad. In fact, you can have ads that last a minute or 2 minutes long that get a hold rate of 20% when they're done the right way. Now, other things, let's go to the website side of things. Now with add to cart, I typically on a website want this to be above 5%. It depends on the product though. So if you're selling something that's cheaper than, I would say, say $50. Add to cart percentage, I like that to be around 7-8% at least. If it's a little more higher ticket, above $50, then 5% is solid. But really, at the end all be all, I want my conversion rate to be 1.8%. That is the most important metric to me. If it's at 1.8%, that's a really good start. If it's below 1.8%, then I know, all right, I need to tweak something with my website. I need to change my offer up. I need to change the structure of my website, the description. Maybe there's not enough social proof. And even when I'm at 2% or 3%, the best brands still will optimize and do split tests to see, can I beat our current conversion rate? Because you never want to be satisfied. Just because you're hitting your KPIs right now doesn't mean that you can't improve them and make more money. That should always be the goal, to optimize, optimize, optimize. Never be content with where you're at. And obviously, we already have a video in this program in the website section of how to split test your offer and other things to increase that conversion rate. But in terms of the KPIs, from add to carts, if I get 100 add to carts, I typically want a third of those to purchase. So if I'm above that, I know I'm doing really good. But if I'm below that, then I know there's something wrong with the add to cart process. Maybe we're sending people directly to the add to cart instead of sending them directly to checkout. So maybe that'll improve things. Or there's something wrong with the add to cart where maybe we have too much information there, or maybe there's something that's putting them off in that add to cart page. So you want to analyze what's going on there. And then when people are in the checkout, I typically want half of those to actually convert into a purchase. So if I get 50 reach checkouts, I want 25 of those to purchase. And obviously, if you're noticing it's not there, then check out that checkout page. See, do you have your logo in there? Can we add a phone number also with the logo? So you can add little things like trust badges as well in the logo section, because in that logo, you can upload your logo and then to the right of it have trust badges. You can have a phone number, you can have an email, just to add that extra layer of security, because that's really the only thing you can do. And then obviously make sure you have free shipping as well.